So I am posting a GoFundMe to try to raise $300,000 to get the surgeries that I need. My spine is broken, my hip is broken, my shoulder is broken. I was injured back in June of 2018. I tried, reaching out to University of Chicago to get settlements done back in 2018 as well as 2019 as well as 2020 with no results. We are now in 2021. This is October of 2021. I had to file a court case in 2020 because no settlement offers were made. Upon putting the injuries and the medical reports and the letter that I wrote to University of Chicago into the court system and them calling forth for the defending party, no decisions were made. I've been trying to get litigation funding for my case for the last 3 years. I started calling around to some pre-settlement companies that claim they could help out with some money before the case wins in court. Even if it doesn't win, you just don't have to pay the money back. I didn't believe that part, but I still tried anyway because I have a legitimate case. Most of these companies were offering anywhere from $500,000 to $750,000 for the type of case that I have. I felt nothing wrong with applying. I felt like I would get the money, but I've applied to over 15 pre-settlement companies. A few that I'm going to mention: Oasis Financial, Peachtree, Peachtree Pre-Settlement Funding, which is an affiliate of J.G. Wentworth, Pravati Legal Capital, Nolo Law Group Capital. Who else? I mentioned Oasis already. Lawcash.com. Momentum Funding, all these different places that I've applied to get funding from, and they claim that they can help out with cases. They actually don't. And it's been a very hard, trying, struggling process to try to get the surgeries that I need. If you look at the left side of my face, it looks sunken in. My neck is broken right here. My shoulder is broken. My spine is broken on the left side as well as my hip. If you look to the right side of my face, it looks more fuller and it looks more healthy. That you see this part of the neck is still there. It's missing on this side. It's sunken in. You can probably see the indentation right here where this is messed up. I've been trying to hold it together. Last night, I lay down and was trying to go to sleep, and I was not able to even go to sleep. I had to get up. I was doing like 400 push-ups just to get up. And most people, when they get done doing a workout like that, they feel the after effects of it. They're able to get up and feel like, okay, I did something good for my body, I can move forward. Not my case, because I have so many torn ligaments. I have a torn spine, I have a broken shoulder, I have a broken hip. When I do workouts, it's just simply catching up with the damage that has already been done. So my body still looks out of shape. I'm still sitting here out of breath right now as we speak. And I've had this case in court for a year now. And I'm not going to mention the judge's name if I feel I need to later on down the line, because I'm recognizing that social justice is just not a thing for me. This case went before the judge. I had requested a court hearing. I've never spoken in the court on my case whatsoever. The only thing that's been done is the video footage of me being jumped has been released to the courts. My medical records have been released to the courts. They've tried to get the defending sides their recount of what happened, and you can tell that they're not telling the truth when they speak. Anybody with common sense can tell that, but I was never able to give my side of the story. And upon trying to give my side of the story on October 8th of this year, I was given, everything's going on Zoom court right now. We don't have in-person hearings, which will probably be a lot better. My case will move a lot faster if we can do some in-person hearings, but no, we're doing Zoom court meetings over the laptop internet. Tried logging in. No, actually, I didn't try logging in. I was not given the Zoom information until 2 minutes before I was supposed to log in for a hearing. I had emailed them days previous and asked for the Zoom login information. The morning of the court meeting, I emailed them and asked them for the Zoom login information. I was supposed to log in at 9:30 a.m. She sent me the information at 9:28 a.m. And with the Wi-Fi being slow where I was, I didn't receive an email until 9:50 a.m. She messaged me at 9:51 and said, "Hi, we're still sitting here waiting. Go ahead and log in." I tried logging in. With anybody who knows how Zoom works, you have to wait for an administrator to, even if you type in information and you log in, it sends you to the screen and says, "Wait, I'm going to have you wait for an administrator to log you in." And so I said, "Okay, I'll just sit here and wait." 9:52 came around. Mind you, she sent this email telling me to log in at 9:51 because she knew she was wrong. 9:52 came around and she's put together she asked the judge could they dismiss the case. It was a request made. It's called a motion. She put in a motion to dismiss the case. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, oh, the judge is not going to grant her motion because she is looking at the email thread that she's involved in. The judge's email address was sitting on the email thread, so I know she's being CC'd with everything that's going on back and forth. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, the judge, I'm not even going to worry about it. The judge is not going to tell her that she can dismiss the case because she recognizes they sent me the Zoom information late. She recognizes that I've been, given the runaround and stuff like that. No, the judge actually, she went along with the order that the defending party wanted. She tried to dismiss the case. I had to take time out of my busy schedule of trying to figure out how to get litigation funding or sitting around working out every day to make sure I don't die or having to go figure out how I'm going to get food for the day. I've been struggling trying to find money, like scraping things up from different family members or going to do small, tasks and stuff. And back on to what happened. She puts in the approval for her to dismiss the case. There, I had to go through the process of putting in a request to vacate the order of dismissal. So I had to take the 14 bus all the way downtown with no weapon in my bag. I would have to get back to that. I've been having people threaten me to get rid of this case or else. When I walk through the streets of Chicago, I've been jumped on. I was beat unconscious by 3 people who were related to one of the security officers in this trial, and they pissed in my mouth, and they also put feces in my mouth. I had to go undergo extensive medical care for 2 weeks after this jumping, like I hadn't gone through the same thing just in 2018, just without the feces and the urine. And when the judge put that, when she put, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grant you your motion to dismiss, I just sat there and thought to myself, what type of world do we live in? What type of America do we live in where a judge has not ever heard the victim's voice and you don't want to hear the victim's voice? What type of judge are you that you could go ahead and just dismiss a case and you know for a fact that I was jumped? You had video evidence. I know for a fact that you had video evidence because it was subpoenaed back in 2020 and given to you by the previous lawyer that I had on the case for litigation. So you've seen the video already. What type of judge sees a video of somebody being victimized by 8 people? I was jumped on by 8 people. My hip was broken, my spine was broken, my shoulder was broken, my neck was broken. And she sits around and she goes ahead and says, okay, order to dismiss. And I'm sitting around. I have 30 days to go in, put in a motion to vacate this order that she's put in so that way I can continue on to my trial, which I need. I've been quoted $270,000 for the surgeries that I need. I've been taken away from my clothing line, House of Bouye, for 3 years, a company in which I made a little bit over $250,000 a year when I first started. And I'm now down to $0 and having to ask people to get money. Like, this is not the lifestyle that I want. Even when my company had dry moments, I was able to go work a side job. You know what I mean? I was able to go to the temp agency and work there at some of the warehouses, or I was able to go work at places like Warby Parker or Glenn's Garden Market or Bucket Feet, or different places like Dollar Tree. I was working at Dollar Tree. I've worked at McDonald's. I've worked at different places throughout my entire life. I've been working since I was 16 years old, and I'm not able to do these things now anymore because I have so many damaged parts on my body. So for a judge to go ahead and dismiss my case like it just doesn't mean anything. I'm sitting around watching these people go back and forth in conversation with each other. She kikis with the defending party in their litigation because the law team that is representing the defendants has some type of personal relationship with the judge right now, and or she likes them and she has conversation with them, and she listens to what they says. You would sit around and you would dismiss a victim's claims just because you like somebody. You don't need to have a position of a judge inside the Cook County Courthouse. I've also motioned to have another judge put on my case, but I'm not sure how these things are going to go. I am asking that I get help with $300,000 right now until I can get this case won. I know with GoFundMe, you're not going to be able to figure out who to pay back. I might be able to keep a record of who paid and try to figure out how to get in contact with them and stuff like that so I can give this money back. But I'm in need of surgery. It's $270,000 for my surgery, and I need $30,000 just to get back up on my feet. So I put together a GoFundMe for $300,000, and hopefully it does do some numbers. I'm putting this video on there so that way I can cover up the picture of me like half naked on the GoFundMe page. Like I don't like being exposed half naked and stuff like that, but I need for my body to be seen. People don't believe that I have the injuries that I have because when I dress, you see all this muscle, and you can only barely see my body leaning back and forth if you watch me walk for a long time. But you see all this muscle because I work out so often, but the muscle is not put into the right places. It's just simply sitting there with no blood flow in certain areas. So I had to take the shirt off and pull the pants just below my hip so you can see the broken hip, and you can see how my body is leaning, and I can't stand upright. And I'm putting this video on here because people usually take the time out to look at pictures and they judge. And you just judge up a glass cover like, oh, well, I see a little bit of muscle, I see a leaning body, but that don't really mean nothing. I'm using my voice so that way you can hear the struggle and strain behind the 3 years of injury that is present here, and how I've been treated in and out of the court system. I got people who follow me around in restaurants every single day. I come to McDonald's every single morning. I got the same group of people who are sitting over here right now who talk at me as opposed to asking me hey, young man, what's up? You okay? I heard about this. But instead of them doing that, they make jokes about it. I go to the Wendy's on 87th Street and they treat me with disrespect. I walk down the street and people, say little rude things out of the way to me. And I recognize it's the same demographic of people from this security officer's family. These are people who don't want to see it's their loved one. They don't want to see their loved one get in trouble for what they did. But my thing is, your loved one had no right to put their hands on me, and then not only put your hands on me, you taking it a step further to actually want to break bones. It goes to show how violent these people are. I just don't understand why I went to the ER for a routine checkup for what I thought was a heart attack. And I went in and get an EKG and to see if I could talk to a doctor about getting on some pain pills and some type of aspirin to give me some blood flow to my heart so that way I can, just go work out and get myself healthier and all that. And it turned into somebody recognizing me in the streets and nothing but pure jealousy. I'm somebody who, I hate to speak about it like this, but I'm somebody who wears high-end fashion. Well, not right now because I'm broke, but I'm somebody who wears high-end fashion. You watch me through the city of Chicago back when I was 16, 17, 18, all the way up until the age of 22. I was wearing Gucci, Louis Prada. I was wearing $20,000 fur coats. I was wearing, Donald Palmer shoes, Donald Pliner shoes, whatever. I worked at Lord & Taylor. They used to sell them. $250 shoes, $300 shoes, stuff like that, or $2,000 boots, or all these different Jordans and stuff. If you go check my Instagram page, nothing but pure jealousy has allowed somebody to recognize my face and decide that it was okay to jump on me and break my body parts. Another thing I would have to mention, my mother worked for DCFS back in the day, and she did her job diligently. And these are the same faces of people who abuse their family members and their children. And DCFS had to get involved. Instead of them recognizing that my mother was simply a secretary working for DCFS, they have categorized her with somebody who was taking the time out to actually charge their family for the things that they did. I don't find anything wrong with it, but at the same token, go get who you have a vengeance against. Don't come and disrespect me or my mother and you damage my body. They sit around and they try to make it seem like I have some type of mental problem or some mental instability that I don't have. If I was able to run my clothing line for the last 6 years, I'm 26 now. I've been running my clothing line for 6 years. I've been able to run a lucrative clothing line for 6 years, 3 of which have been taken from me because of the injuries, but I'm still kicking and going, doing small things here, small things there. I was able to run a clothing line. I was able to intern at places like Youth Leadership Academy down at Center on Halsted. I was able to intern at Broadway Youth Center as one of the peer advocates doing social justice work, as well as sexual awareness work, health education work, things like that. I'm well versed in a multitude of studies. So for somebody to sit around and try to make it seem like I have some type of mental disorder, it should be easily dismissed as far as a claim for me. I'm not violent in nature. I have no time for violence, especially not running a clothing line and working through social justice networks, or working at places like Lord and Taylor or Warby Parker, which is a lucrative eyeglass store that has so many high-end celebrity clients. I was there when Off-White partnered with Warby Parker. These are the things that I pay attention to. Things that you did something to my life. I don't chase after wrong. I just feel like somebody who has hurt you should just take the time out to admit their wrongdoings, and we can move forward with this. I didn't even press charges on these people. I simply took out a lawsuit and the reason why I didn't press charges is because I'm scared. I don't have time for somebody going to jail. They get out a year later and then they're looking to try to come and kill me because I had them sitting behind bars somewhere. We put in a lawsuit so that way I can sue the company that you work for. You can lose your job, but you're not gonna say that you were incarcerated because of me. So to go through all these things, I'm adding this video and these things to social media so that way I can try to get somebody to support. At least I need some people who will say, hey, that's not right. Hey, that guy, he needs help. Hey, if that was me, I would want my compensation. If that was me, I would want my surgery. If that was me, I would want somebody to apologize to me. If that was me, I would want these people's faces brought to justice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my faith in you all. I'm going to put this video on my GoFundMe page, and hopefully I can get some supporters as far as like monetary donations, but also support and just word of mouth. I have so many people bad mouthing me that I would really appreciate if somebody would take the time out to recognize who I am as a person. I thank you all in advance, and I hope you have a nice day.